Welcome to I Feel Fat Today. I'm your host, Kelly Taylor. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode. Just going to say right off the bat that for the intro of this podcast, I do not have any video. We're only audio for the intro, but when we get into the interview with our guest, there is video for that. So if you want to check that out, go over to the YouTube to watch the episode. Speaking of the YouTube, please go on there. Even if you are not someone that enjoys podcasts in visual form, it would mean so much to me if you went to I Feel Fat Today podcast on YouTube and gave us a subscribe. It's free. It'll take 2 seconds, and yeah, I appreciate it. But check out the episodes. I do wish I had video for the intro of this podcast because I am surrounded by very cute animals, but you'll have to use your imagination for that. All right. As always, you can find I Feel Fat Today on Instagram at I Feel Fat Today. If you want to send a message there, let me know what you think about the podcast. If you found a conversation interesting and you want to give me your thoughts, I love your feedback. If you want advice on anything, send me a message. I Feel Fat Today on Instagram. I have an email somewhere. When I get that, I'll let you know what that is if you want to shoot me an email. You can follow me, your host, Kelly Taylor, on Instagram at Hello, This is Kelly. And yeah, all right, on with the show. So for today, what I quickly want to talk about, again, I'm kind of doing this at the 11th hour just because I'm going away this weekend and I was busy getting ready for that. And so now I'm recording this pod with little time to spare. But nevertheless, we proceed. Okay, so I have another article, if you want to call it that, from page 6. I came across it and was like, interesting. Let's talk about it on the pod. Okay, so from page 6. Rebel Wilson claims people only need 600 calories a day following a week-long detox retreat. And this was from earlier this month. Rebel Wilson, who's been open about her weight loss over the years, says people don't actually need as many calories as they believe. I was just actually in a program where I learned about food, and they taught us that you don't really need as many calories as you would think. The Pitch Perfect star told the Daily Mail Thursday at a launch party for her Fluid dating app. Isn't she married? What does she know about dating apps? Which Casamigos hosted... shut up, I don't care. Wilson, 43, explained she recently went on a week-long retreat at Vivamire Medical Spa in Austria, where she learned you really only need about 600 calories a day, as opposed to 1,500 or 2,000. While the actress admitted the idea might sound crazy to some, she believes your body doesn't need a lot of calories, especially when trying to detox. Okay, then they just show loads of photos of her. She noted, everyone thinks you need to eat so much, but if you eat right and you eat small portions, you'll be just fine. It's unclear if the comedian followed the low-calorie diet plan while on this retreat, but she did tell the outlet the advice is not intended for a daily routine. The problem is that some people are stuck at a desk or in their car and they tend to get hungry, she continued. That they want to eat because that's how they deal with stress or it's a habit. The senior year star, who has lost more than 70 pounds in recent years, went on to tell the outlet that she gained weight since welcoming daughter Royce via surrogate in November 2022. Now I can't get to the gym as often as I used to. I'm not just working out as much, so that has slowed me down. The new mom explained, also blaming her lack of sleep and change of lifestyle. Real quick, I just want to say, I love how, and I'm not knocking surrogacy, I think it's great, but I love how before surrogacy got really popular and people could afford to do it, it was like you have a baby and then we talk about, the woman getting her body back and losing the baby weight, and now that's not even a conversation. I feel like I've heard of at least 3 different celebrities in recent history, like in the last year, using a surrogate to become parents, which again, good for them. I'm not doing it, so someone should. All right. Well, Wilson's fiance, Ramona, also gained weight post baby. The Isn't It Romantic star has been jealous of her partner's progress. She lost it really fast, Wilson said. I have not been able to lose the weight as fast. The couple went public with their relationship via Instagram in June 2022 after an Australian newspaper threatened to out the wed alum. The duo got engaged at Disneyland after less than 1 year of dating, but Wilson told Page Six Thursday they have yet to begin the wedding planning process. It's really hard, she explained. It's been interesting to talk about, but we don't have any plans yet. All right. I don't know. I don't like this article at all. Saying you need 600 calories a day is really moronic and not at all true. They did sort of specify in one sentence here, so if you read this fast, you may have missed it. This isn't intended to be long-lasting. This is just supposed to be like a little detox, but I think it's very funny that a detox it consists of just not eating food. So, yeah. I don't know. You can check that out. I'll put it in the show notes, but... All right, that's all I got for you. Really quick intro. This week on the podcast, we have the very funny, she's a cannabis influencer and really funny stand-up comic. Check her out on social media. Please give a warm welcome to the very funny Danit Sibs. Amazing. Okay, yes. So, Danit, before you got here, I was watching Vanderpump Rules, and so, reunion.
Okay.
We, right before we started recording, you made you were talking about Tom Sandoval and how it was crazy that he would make that T-shirt comment to Ariana.
It was so nasty. Like, to tell the entire world, like, to be like, yeah, we had sex, but like, you were wearing your T-shirt, like that's hot. So fucking nasty. Like, I just feel like he knows that that'll cut her to her core.
As Ariana said, a grody. Literally, like, that was so vile of him. Like, it was like, I loved how it got everyone's reactions, and they were just like hand on mouth, like, dude, you just said that. And like, also, like, I cannot picture Tom Sandoval in bed. Like, I don't know how Ariana did it for the entirety of that relationship, but...
I don't know. And there's all this stuff going around saying that Tom Sandoval smells.
I know.
Like,
what's the deal?
Well, I think it's cigarettes, but also, like, he likes his pheromone. Like, people, like, are talking about it.
Yeah.
It's weird. Not good. Ariana's way better.
She's way better, and I knew you watched Vanderpump, so I wanted to chat about this with you. I've been seeing a lot about like people on the internet having a reaction to how vicious everyone was to Raquel, and I can see a side of that. There also is the side of this is reality television.
Yeah.
And you signed up for your life to be documented. Like when Sandoval wanted to pull Raquel away for 5 minutes and not be filmed, it was like, he's like, this is like ridiculous. It's like, bro, you're contracted right now to have your entire, like, you're going to get a break. You're going to get lunch, but you're getting filmed the whole time. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. But anyway, so. Raquel and redemption. I was talking about this with a friend because this is like all I think about. I was saying how like I do think that I think everybody aside from like murderers, rapists, those kinds of people,
like real sociopaths,
real horrible people, that they don't deserve redemption. But I think everybody else, like there is something you can do where you shouldn't be shunned from society after being publicly shamed. Yeah. However, I think for Raquel, it's like it cannot be on reality TV anymore. She needs to like be a real estate agent or something.
Yeah. So here's what I think. I think before this what was happening, I think that the girls have been mean to her for years.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Like just. It's a fact. Yeah. Like, we're not going to...
They always have a mentality of hazing the new girl.
They always hazing the new girl. Like, listen, like, Katie and Lala can be brutal. I mean, they were brutal to each other when they first
Yeah.
met. So that's the first thing. The other thing is, like, here's what I think. I think, like, Raquel is, like, it's very sad to watch her, actually.
Yeah.
Like, she is clearly, like, not really well. And she, like, is sort of like a shell of a human, like, has no sense of self. Like, it's so sad that, like, I feel like she does deserve to, like, grow
Yeah.
and learn and, like, become a better person. Now, Tom Sandoval, he's a piece of shit.
He's 40.
Yeah.
You're in your ways. Like, you're set
Yeah.
in your ways when you're that much of an adult. I completely agree with
Yeah.
you with Raquel. And I'm looking at her, and I can admittedly see sides to myself when I was 28. I could see Raquel maybe, like, it really being that big of a mistake when she was like 21, 22.
Right.
You know, even though it's still horrible to do, you do some dumb shit at that age.
Yeah.
So I saw, not that I was sleeping with my friends' boyfriends,
Yeah.
but I definitely could see how when I was 21, 22, and I was not in therapy and I didn't realize, like, why I was acting the way I was acting.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when she had that breakdown going to, like, Havasu.
Yeah.
Before, that was the episode
Yeah.
before, or, like, right after the scandal broke. So the producers
right,
hadn't
right.
re-edited it yet.
Right.
And she had that breakdown, and I was like, I've had that I've
Oh,
had that anxiety
totally.
attack. And I'm like, now in therapy as I'm 30 years old, and I'm like, okay, like, I realize why I acted some way. I
Yeah.
take full responsibility for it.
Yeah.
And also, just in terms of, like, relating to people, I was thinking about, like, the first guy I ever dated and just the guys that I would date when I was in my early 20s, and how I was like a wallflower. I was a wet blanket. I, like, didn't know
Okay.
how to be myself and, like, like, have stuff to talk about and interest, because I was so not sure of myself.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think that's why Raquel sort
Yeah.
of, what do I know? But I think she sort of, she has to find her validation
Yeah,
in the guy.
pageants, man.
Yeah.
The pageants, big mistake. Raquel is a poster child for, like, never putting your children in a pageant.
Yeah.
You don't come out of that okay.
Totally.
But yeah, I feel like she should grow and whatever. And I mean, like, the other thing I was thinking about is, like, Tom Sandoval also, like, lost all his friends.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And Ariana is, like, every single day is another paid ad.
Literally. And shout out to these brands that are just, like, capitalizing off it.
Yeah.
The Duracell battery commercial.
Yeah.
I was like, that is the way you approach a project.
Yeah.
Like, that is amazing, because he made that one. He's probably kicking himself for even saying, like, I restock batteries and paper towels. And then to have Ariana stocking her own batteries in her house, I was like, this is next level.
So good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Vanderpump Rules hour of the podcast.
It's very important stuff, pop culture.
Yeah, complete. I love it. I love it. I
love
sometimes will start the podcast off with, like, a pop culture topic. Sometimes it'll relate to dieting, but I'm so excited, Danit Sibs, to have you on the podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
You get to meet Finney in person.
Oh my God, this is so awesome.
He's being so good. Such
Yeah.
an angel. Yeah, so I was really excited to talk to you because I've known you for probably, I would say, 2 years.
Something like that, yeah.
And I feel like I know you have a work ethic that is so unmatched, I think. Like, you are putting on shows. You have a great show, The Hotbox.
Thank you.
Which is super fun to
That's
do.
so nice. Yeah, it's really fun.
And so the whole reason why I'm complimenting you like this is that you are a busy woman that, like, was just upward trajectory. And then you have a life-altering event, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm like, so I think it's great that like you can be open about it. But so you were in a car accident.
Yeah, I was in a car accident. I was in the back seat and we flipped over, and basically this is how I describe it now. Like, it's like you're hurting from an accident and the impact, and you're thinking like whiplash and all these things, and like I never got better.
Yeah.
Like I never got out of that. Like, so like I knew that something was wrong, and like nobody was listening to me, the doctors. So I fucking hate Mount Sinai. Like,
Let's talk about
I
it.
think Mount Sinai, the guys made me feel like I was crazy. And I did like one doctor. He was a spine specialist, a physiatrist. So he wasn't a surgeon. So he did like my epidurals. And he like really tried. But like they must have like a blanket policy like to not prescribe opioids.
Wow.
Well, just narcotics.
Yeah.
Tramadol is actually not an opioid, and it's not really that addictive, and it's not even classified as certain things, and they wouldn't even give me that. That was my problem. It was that like nobody was listening to me, and I was in so much pain. And then finally, so after 3 epidurals, you can't get a 4th one for like a certain amount of time.
Okay.
Because it's steroids in your spine.
Oh, okay.
It's so crazy. Yeah. And my doctor, the only doctor I liked at all during that whole time, the one at Mount Sinai, and everybody else sucks, especially you, Dr. Kim. I've talked about him on my podcast. I cursed you out, and I would do it again. I would say exactly the same things that I said, because I'm good like that. I could really
You can stand up for
off
yourself.
the fly, like on the fly,
On the fly.
on the fly,
Off the dome.
off the dome, on the fly. I can like be like, fuck you. I was like, have you ever had a spine injury? I was like, you're crazy. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, I'm gonna go to the head of the hospital. I was like, I went psychotic because he didn't want to prescribe me anything, and he wanted me to get a 4th epidural. So I went like psycho on him.
Wow.
Yeah, but so Dr. Bulkin, who was like the only nice one, he was like, okay, you can't get a 4th epidural. Let's do these other things called facet joint injections, and it's like more surface level, so it doesn't go as deep. So you could do that too. And as a result, I couldn't get out of my chair when I got home that night, and my legs gave out, and I was crawling on the floor, and that's when I was like, okay, this is like we now, like I got through, like last summer I was okay for 3 months because I had the epidurals and they did a little bit, and then like it all started wearing off, and then I was crawling on the floor calling my 2 best friends to come. One lived in my neighborhood, so I was like, you need to walk over now. And my other one had she had taken me to the appointment and then put me in a cab. And then she's like, I don't understand what's wrong. I'm like, you need to get in a cab and come up here. My legs aren't working. Like, I was really freaked out. And then I crawled. It's so, now I'm far removed, so I can like laugh. It's crazy when I talk about it. I crawled to the front door of my apartment and pulled myself up by the door handle and left the front door open so that they could just come in, and crawled back.
Oh my! I'm picturing
crazy.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh yeah,
when he does the Quaaludes and he's going from the car to the.
He's way more like gummy.
Yeah, more gummy. But I'm picturing that.
That's what it's like.
So did the doctor like not tell you that this is what you could expect?
Yeah, no, I mean, he was just like, you need surgery.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, you need, like, I've done all that I can do for you. Like, you need surgery. And I also, the reason it was so sad is, like, I, like, now know how people get caught in this, like, pain management world where, like, they never actually get better. Like, when they were starting to use, like, the phrase chronic pain, and I was like, no, I have an injury that has never been properly dealt with. Chronic pain, I was like, what the fuck? Like, we have to fix my injury. Like, I was fine before.
Yeah.
So something happened in the car accident. So anyway, then I went on that the next morning I called my boss and told her I'm going on disability. That was like when I was like, oh my God. I was like, I need surgical consultations. I can't find a right doctor. Like I'm crawling on the floor. And then my friend referred me to her doctor at Hospital for Special Surgery, the best place in the world, Dr. Federico Girardi from Argentina.
Oh,
I love him so much. He also has such good bedside manner. It's hard to find in a spine surgeon.
that
They're
is
all these
so
assholes.
important. This
Yeah.
is like not the same thing, but I finally got dental insurance.
Okay.
And so it had been
Mazaltov,
a long time. It had been a long time since I had been to the dentist
Yeah.
through lack of, whatever. So I called a place and I was like, the one thing I'm like, can you just make a note that I need like really good bedside manner? Like I haven't been in, let's say, 5 years. Like I don't want to be reprimanded for having like bad teeth
Yeah.
or like having not gone to the dentist. Because that was also, once I got the insurance, I was like, well, I'm afraid to go because I might get yelled at. And like so all that to say is bedside manner is so crucial. So everything that you're describing, you had to consistently advocate for yourself the entire process. Like you couldn't let your foot off the gas at all.
Yeah, well, and once I went on disability, I told my mom, you're going to come with me to every surgical consult because they're not listening to me. Like I couldn't go by myself, and they didn't give a shit about what she said either. Like
you
Cornell
needed someone with you.
Fuck them too, Cornell Weil.
We're just calling everybody out.
Also, he was a neurosurgeon. Neurosurgeons, I think, like just really. My spine surgeon was orthopedic. It's a little bit different. Like he took X-rays where nobody else did. They were just looking at the discs and the herniation and MRIs. He looked at the X-rays to see how compressed my vertebrae were on top of each other.
Right.
And your cervical spine is curved. Mine was completely straight. He's like, that's an indicator of pain. You don't have a curve in your spine. I'm like, yeah, I can't move. So today, it's just, I had jury duty this week. So the day of the apocalypse, I had jury duty.
Yes.
So I just sat, or like today, like I have, I just sore and I walked around a lot and I had like intense acupuncture and cupping yesterday. I have purple strips down my back.
That's
I
so
love that shit.
I love that stuff. I got acupuncture once because I had a boss that was like sort of just out there, and she got on a holistic health kick and got myself and my coworkers acupuncture from a person in her neighborhood, and I fucking loved it. It was so good. I've never done cupping, but I would love to.
Yeah.
I mean, you went for, injury stuff, but
yeah, but no, I love it. I mean, I went to acupuncture not so consistently, but I've been to acupuncture before all of this. Yeah, the cupping is awesome because it opens up your muscles. Like the whole thing is like I have marbles in my back. That's what it feels like. That's what Danny Suggs told me. He's my personal trainer.
Oh, that's amazing.
Once a week he comes to my apartment. We have like our gossip sesh.
That's amazing.
And we work out, and he's been like such a support during this whole thing because I was training with him before the car accident.
Okay.
And so like I have been back with him for like 3 months, maybe 4, and like I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And now I could do so much. Like, it's so amazing.
That's amazing.
Shout out to Danny.
So I want to get back to.
Okay.
I'm gonna get back to what training you're doing exercise wise, because I'm always so interested to know what people are doing, and also like I'm gonna steal what they do.
Yeah.
If it works for me, and so you have this accident. You go from being very active, because when you're living in New York City, you just are active because of like commuting and getting around. But being comics, we're like always out walking around, hauling shit. So how did this accident affect the relationship that you had with your body? And like now you had to go from being like moving all the time to sedentary, really.
Oh my God. Well, I would just really get super high and eat lots of things, so I gained weight. I became puffy. Like my friend who's like also my dietitian, she's like, eating is not an activity. I'm like, huh? What?
I've
like,
never thought of it like that.
It's not an activity. Do something
eating,
else.
Like my girlfriends and I, we go out to dinner. We're like,
course.
this is the night. Like
Yeah.
we're like, we don't even need to go out after. We're doing the activity. Eating is not an activity. I need to write that down.
Yeah. It really stuck with me. I'm like, okay. Yeah, no, it was like, so before surgery, I got a Peloton because I was like, okay, maybe I can do this because it's low impact.
Yeah.
I think I used it 5 times, like, because I couldn't. So that's like, I couldn't do anything. Like, and it was also like, listen, I'm a late person because I smoke weed.
You take your time.
I take my time. I don't like waking up, or I don't like moving early. Like, I always wake up early, but I don't want to like do anything. And and I also live in Washington Heights, so I'm always late.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Just by virtue of living in Washington.
Yeah,
Heights.
seriously. So like now I'm later than ever, and I'm also canceling last minute all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, can't move, can't do it.
Yeah. It's cutting into just the frequency of the activities you did do.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Just having to cancel a spot when it's for not a great reason.
I must have
sucks.
canceled 30, 40 spot. I mean, I don't even know. I also didn't really date.
Yeah.
Like,
Everything got put
I didn't
on
have
pause.
sex for a year.
I mean, that's understandable.
No, 11 months.
Because, like,
I went from February 2022 to January 2023.
when do you think from, like, the time of having the accident to you feeling, like, physically okay, were you ready to have sex?
How long?
Yeah.
11 months. Yeah.
Like 11. Oh, okay.
10 months. Well, and it was 3 or 4 months after surgery. I think, right? I had surgery in October, November, December, January. It was 3 months after surgery.
I have to
had
say
sex.
that's kind of a quick recovery. Like,
I know that's crazy, but like my neck really hurt.
Yeah.
Like I really was like,
was it
this
even
is
worth
not-
it?
I mean, yes and no.
Yeah.
That's the joke I do about the 69er, where he 69 me as his first move. He was on top. He squished my face.
As long as you're on your back.
No, I don't want him on top of
Yeah,
me.
no, that's too.
I'm like,
it
now
can't
my-
be guy on top.
Yeah, no. I'm like, I have pink eye. His whole fucking ass crack was in my face. And his ass is like mom butt.
Oh my god,
Looked like my mom's butt.
I love it. Mom butt. Joe has Hank Hill ass, where it's just like you know
What-
Hank Hill
yeah,
from
but I
King
don't
of
know
the
what his
Hill,
ass
just
is.
completely flat.
Flat. Yeah.
Flat and like kind of goes in, like there's no cheek.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you were talking, I wanted to ask you. So, how soon after your accident did you start working out?
I wore a hard collar for a month.
What's a hard collar?
Like what you see, like it's hard plastic.
Oh,
that
around
you
your
wear
neck.
Around your neck. Yeah. Not like the soft ones. Like when I was wearing the soft one, people like just thought I strained my neck, and I was like, who walks around like this?
Who would elect to walk around
I was like,
with a soft collar on?
like what the god? Like because of the way that I am, I just felt like it was like if I didn't address it, it would be weird. So
Right.
it was like constantly I was talking about wearing my collar while I'm wearing it. It was so awkward. It made for really like ridiculous social interactions.
Did you do stand up with the soft collar on?
I think I took it off when I got up.
When you got it.
Yeah.
It'd be so hard to get through a
And then
set with
yeah,
the
I
soft-
have like the first show I did after surgery, I took it off when I went up, and you can see, like, I posted clips. I'm still like such a robot.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh.
Good, because that's the point of it. You can't be moving your neck.
Yeah.
So,
So I had a hard collar for a month. Wait, what was the question?
how soon after? Oh God, did you start doing? No, I forget.
No,
what I
have
asked.
sex?
No. We talked about that. How did we just lose the
The
question?
hard collar, because potheads, man.
What did I?
You
Whatever.
asked me.
I was asking you how long it had been since something. If you're listening, I don't have the ability to scale back 30 seconds to listen to what I just said.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll go on to
We'll
the
get
next
back
day.
to it. I mean, so a hard collar is like 2 plastic sides. It's kind of crazy. It's like so crazy when I talk about it.
It was intense, dude.
It's really
so
intense.
Seeing where you are now, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, like it was fucking intense, and I mean, I like have beef with an old lady in my building because after I didn't need a walker anymore.
Yeah.
I gave my mom my walker. So ridiculous. I used a granny cart to walk to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like that would be my rehab, part of my
Yeah.
rehab. Because I wasn't allowed to do physical therapy actually for 2 months. The neck is different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they didn't want anybody touching me. Also because it was a fusion.
Okay.
Like the hardware and the bones have to fuse together.
Oh my
It's
God.
like they have to grow and like fuse together. So I would like, it was walking. Like that's what they said to me. You have to walk as much as possible. Like it's gonna take you time, but like you gotta walk every day. And like then when I would go back, they'd be like, okay, you have to walk 30 minutes a day. Like like all this stuff. So I would take my granny cart and go to the Key Food in Washington Heights, and this old lady would be up my ass, and I'm like, look, I want it to be like, bitch, look at the collar. Like I'm disabled.
What was she like asking for help with stuff?
No, she just was like, as if like I didn't have a right to be slow.
Oh my gosh.
Old lady. One time I was like, I'm moving my stuff. Do you have a problem? She's like, no. Old lady.
That's
also why I have to move. I can't be an old lady in Washington Heights living by myself.
So something that you said that I was like, we have to talk about this on the podcast because I was lamenting about, this recovery, that it's been a long road, but where you are now, it's like, I know in the beginning, because I saw you right after that first Hotbox back, and you were just like, I can't believe this. Like I had shows. I cannot believe this.
Yeah.
And you were feeling really just downtrodden.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, understandably.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned you're like, I thought I was just going to be like an old crony of Washington Heights.
Yeah. A disabled lady.
Yeah.
No.
And you're like, I'm single.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a husband to take care of me.
I'm like, my mom she had spine surgery. She stole my thunder. It's like she didn't give me a year. It's so fucked up. Also, like my mom has been like really difficult to deal with, and it's been really hard. I had to leave her yesterday because I couldn't.
Yeah.
I was like, we've now officially gotten to crazy town, and I can't. I have no boundaries in my family.
Yeah. Oh,
Enmeshment. Enmeshment. I'm not allowed to do anything for myself. Like if I don't, my mom is gonna make me crazy.
She probably really, and thank God for this, but she probably really loved being able to like help you and like have to be around you because you needed the help.
Oh,
like
yeah,
all of a
and
sudden
now
you were a
she's different
baby
person.
again.
Oh my God, she put detangler in my hair.
Yeah.
I couldn't shower for 5 days. My hair was so knotty that we got children's detangler. Like my mom was literally detangling my hair like a child.
Yeah.
And washing me. Like my mom, like I was like totally naked.
I mean, that's what moms do.
Yeah.
My mom would do that
naked.
for me in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but like now she's whoa.
Yeah.
So like it's anyway, that's depressing. But now I forgot again what we were gonna
actually we're talking about the enmeshment with your family. Is your mom like really like if you go on a date with a guy, like does she know about the date?
So I am the person that like I'm the baby of like I have
You
an
are.
older sister.
Okay.
So like I always share that shit with my mom.
Okay.
She basically thinks that I didn't give any nice guys a shot, but until and
Have you thought about giving a nice guy a shot? Like, okay. Have you thought about doing that? Like,
I've done it a lot.
yeah.
And it doesn't work out well because those are the guys that I break up with.
Mhm.
Although the guy that I just broke up with, he's not the nice guy.
I feel like you just broke up with him because last
Yeah.
time I saw you, you guys.
I was with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm fine. I don't miss him because he was stressing me the fuck out.
I love this. Yes.
I really like. It's kind of crazy because we had this insane connection, and astrologically, I did a compatibility chart reading, and like it was an insane connection, but like the honeymoon went away too quickly.
Oh, no.
He was like annoying the shit out of me. I fucking hated his house. I'm sorry. Like, you have a 10-year-old child, a 10-year-old son, and a 65-pound chocolate lab.
Mhm.
Get a cleaning lady. Like, you haven't vacuumed this couch. Like, everything smells like your dog.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry. You're a 52-year-old grown-ass man driving a Tesla.
Yeah.
Get a goddamn fucking cleaning lady.
No, I swear I'm not saying as women we need to date men and change them, but I'm saying we improve them. Like literally, if he had just listened to you and gotten a goddamn cleaning lady,
We'd probably still be together, but not really, because I think
I know there's
this
always
I feel bad on a recording. I think he's had a stinky butthole. I've been down that road before. I'm not doing it again.
no more stinky butthole.
I've been down this road before.
No,
I'm not doing it again. My live-in boyfriend was so fucking disgusting sometimes. I gave him the couch when he moved into my apartment. It was all my shit. And I was like, I want everything gone because I think he also might smell. And
You want his stank
take
out of there.
my fucking couch.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
That
You
was
stink
his
that
plan
up.
all along, to stink up your couch so you could take it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, girl.
Yeah, I've been with some winners. No. He was a good guy. We have no hard feelings, although he came into the city last night and posted this whole thing that he was at Astor Club, the consumption lounge in the Lower East Side.
Oh, yeah.
And I said to my friends last night, well, I guess we're not going.
Did you meet him through cannabis events?
He was that Connecticut show.
Mhm.
He was at the first one I did there.
Okay.
And that's how we met. So,
So-
yeah, it was at a Connecticut consumption lounge.
Amongst other things, like other factors in your relationship that made you once again advocate for yourself and be like, I'm not doing this. The distance, like I know
Oh,
Connecticut's
my
not
God.
far, but like living in Washington Heights and dating a guy in Connecticut, that's what I call geographically undesirable.
Totally. So I'm geographically undesirable in New York. Like, I've had guys literally stop talking to me when they find
Yeah.
out where I live.
Right.
Totally get it. Like, it's fine. This was really far. He doesn't live in Stamford. He lives above Hartford.
Yeah.
On a good day, it's 2 hours. On a bad day, it's 4. And it was exhausting. I just felt like he met me in February. Yeah, February. And I was still like in so much recovery mode that like I got swept up in it's like, because it was like January was the first time I had sex again. And then like I met a guy with adult braces that I thought we were going to be. He also had cervical spine surgery. So I thought we were obviously going to be lovers, but it didn't happen.
So the one guy you had an astrological connection, and that guy you had a spinal surgery connection.
Yeah.
You need
he's
to
giving me
make-
a lot of free weed because he's like, you're a medical patient.
You need to make a coffee table book of the men that you've dated. I know.
Oh my God, that's what I should do.
Literally.
When people tell me to write a book, and I do have 20,000 words in a Word document.
That's amazing.
From COVID, yeah. But like, I'm like, it's so hard. But a coffee table book.
Coffee table book.
It should be a profile.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you're swiping.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a profile of each guy.
You would have to have a lot of sign-offs. A lot of people.
No. I'm gonna change the names.
Yeah, change everything.
I'm just gonna
Just
change.
order a model, or like order. Oh my God, hire a model
Yeah,
that
yeah,
looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
him. Oh, you should do
Yo,
that.
this is thank
That's
God
your
this
idea.
is being recorded.
Amazing. Okay, so pivoting a bit, where
Yeah.
did you grow up?
East Meadow, Long Island.
Okay, Long Island.
I was in Queens when my parents were still married, and then my mom put us in Long Island. She took us. My mom hates the city, like hates Queens, hates everything. So the suburbs. You're from the suburbs of Jersey, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm from like central-ish Jersey.
It's like very similar to Long Island.
I think so. I think that's why I get along so well with Long Island people.
The good ones.
Yeah, I mean,
There's some bad
there's
ones.
the bad ones of Jersey as well.
I
You
know.
know, like and the bad ones are very much alike.
Yeah.
So you have an older sister.
Yeah.
So did you guys, like, growing up, what was like the activity that you did that like kept you busy? Like for me, like it was sports. I did softball.
Oh, wow.
Like did you do
Okay.
sports or anything?
I danced. I did
danced?
dance. But I was always quit before the recital.
Really? You never performed?
Like a couple times.
You're a performer now. That's so
It's
funny.
so weird. Like my mom would pay for the costume and then be like, I'm done with this shit.
Your mom would let you quit?
Yeah, why'd she do that? Why'd she let me? I honestly, because she was a single mom, probably.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't give a
How
fuck.
old were you when your parents got divorced?
Well, they got separated when I was like 4.5, 5. But my father was a piece of shit, so he dragged us through family court.
Ugh.
And they didn't get divorced until I was like actually 12 or 13, I think.
Really?
Yeah, a long time.
Long
The court
time.
system, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot to go through
Oh
as
yeah,
a kid.
childhood trauma.
Yeah, that's
Duh.
why that's
Thanks, daddy. I like don't even say the word dad. I said like I have a father. He passed away, and it's weird.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he passed away in August.
Oh, so recent.
Yeah, but like I haven't
be a
seen
year.
him in
Yeah.
25 years.
Okay, so once like the divorce happened, so you're a girl's girl. You're a good
Yeah.
girl's girl with mom and sister.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we have enmeshment. We have no boundaries
Of course, yeah.
whatsoever.
So normally I think it's like really weird when families have, not weird, weird's not the right word. I find it like something that I'm really glad I don't have to deal with when it comes to enmeshment, but there's something about it being 3 women where I'm like, that's kind of cute.
yeah.
You know, like
Well,
this little like intergenerational
Yeah,
pod.
my sister and I are going to Atlantic City tomorrow to see Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
So
it is great
fun.
having
Yeah.
a sister. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have 2 brothers, and
oh
so
shit, no sister.
no sister. And like I feel like when I was younger, I was like really fine not having a sister because I'm like, oh, I'd probably always fight with her, whatever. And I would say I'm close with my mom in that, like, there's, you know, if I changed my job, I would tell her, like, back when I was single, I didn't tell her about like every guy I would date, but like we're pretty. I like our relationship.
Okay. Good.
We're our own people.
Yeah.
But we still know to like check in and say I love you at the end of phone calls.
Okay.
So like, do you call your mom and sister every day?
Like yes, and not my sister as much now. It's a lot more, and like the fact that like my mom is like out of her mind right now. My mom's okay, whatever. My mom's boyfriend and her they're breaking up.
That's tough.
And she's had this surgery, and we have to move her stuff out, and
Yeah.
she's 76 and he's 81. And they're breaking up after a decade, and it's like a schoolgirl. It's like
And that's a decade-long relationship is like a lot.
yeah.
You know, and this is like another major relationship in her life that's
Oh my God, because they always would say to the end.
To the end, yeah.
They're old.
I think it's so fucking cute when old people don't get married. I
No,
think it's
domestic
so
partnerships.
Cute. Domestic partnerships.
I'm supposed to be the executrix of his estate. Well, no more, asshole. No, I actually want to be because I'm gonna get money. It's okay. I'll still do. My family would kill me. They luckily don't watch anything that I do.
Yeah,
because they don't give a shit at
better
all.
That way.
And so I can say whatever I want because they don't watch anything. But so right now these days I am talking to my sister all the time. We literally call each other and are like, "Oh my God, mommy is so annoying."
How much older is your sister?
She's 5 years older.
Okay.
So we weren't that close growing up. We were never in school at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, like never in camp at the same time.
Right. So, okay, so that's interesting context for how I think of the three of you growing up.
Yeah.
So like being women, you're a product of the 90s.
Oh yeah.
So
Fucking love
what
the
was
90s.
what was huge and happening during the 90s? Diet culture, baby.
Yeah.
So did the three of you like do diets together or like
Oh yeah.
what was the relationship with like body and stuff and weight?
Terrible.
Yeah, when like between the three of you or
Yeah.
like do you think one person had it worse than the other?
Well, they're both short, so I always hated being tall because it was just the three of us. Like my father was tall,
Yeah.
but he wasn't there. So like it was
Yeah.
just the three of us, and my mom is like 5'2", and my sister is like 5'3", 5'4". So I mean, I was always the tallest in the class, like all that stuff growing up.
Yeah.
So like I always felt bigger, and even though like I was like skinny as a child,
You still
like,
feel big.
you still feel big. You're not cute and little and whatever. And then like my mom was like always heavy. Like that's why I think her body is deteriorating. Like you can't handle that, like, and not being physically active. Like it's a combination. It's not just like the weight, it's also like
well, the
not
weight
being
can
physically
be
active.
a byproduct of because when you are not physically active, it's not like you're just fat and you stay fat. You get fatter. Like
No muscle tone.
No muscle
My
tone.
mom has no muscle.
like there's a difference
arm.
when we think about weight and like being heavy. A heavy person that is muscular
Yeah.
is heavier than heavier can be healthier in some ways
Yeah.
than like a person that is like maybe just naturally more thin.
Yeah,
And
totally.
no muscle tone. That's like you need to like maintain dexterity and like movement and like
Yes.
that's why for you
Yes.
having the injury that you had, it's like so shocking to your system. So okay, so and I feel like I often repeat like certain things on this podcast, but the health of that you have in your 30s, 40s, 50s, like will sort of not determine, but like be a major factor in like your movement and health in your 70s.
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally. So, yeah. So my mom was heavy, and she's like lost weight in 2 different times in my
Okay.
life. Like lost like 80 or 100 pounds 2 different times. She starved herself. She ate 1,200 calories a day. My mom
Yeah.
starves herself.
Yeah, and we have been like marketed essentially, and like have had these experience in like our own immediate families of like success stories. Like you're a success story when you lose 100 pounds. Like the amount of adoration you get when you even lose any amount of weight. Like have you noticed in you losing weight since the accident, like sort of depuffing yourself, people have given you compliments?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I want them.
Yeah, it's
I
But
want
it's-
them badly.
if they could, they need a bottle and sell the feeling you get when someone says you look really good. Like when
Yeah.
they are indicating to you in some way that they know you've lost weight, and they don't even have to say like, you look like you've lost weight. When they're like, by the way, you look fantastic, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes. It's such
So
a good
nice.
feeling.
It's so nice. Like I'm finally starting to feel like myself again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's another thing. I think for you, it's like the weight that you may have gained was a byproduct of like a very severe situation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like you don't really have time to be hating yourself or even like mad at yourself for gaining weight, because that was a matter of survival for you.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Were
And
you-
also like I was on like so much medication.
Mm-hmm.
I had steroids like in the cortisone epidurals. I had taken multiple packs of steroids. So like I literally was puffy. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't even
Yeah.
an anesthesia. Like there was nothing I could have done. And then also I was like smoking tons of weed and having the
Yeah.
munchies.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
I
not
was
moving.
depressed and not
Yeah.
moving. So like it was I mean, yes, but like I had not like to not move like that. Like now that I'm active again, like especially with Danny, I'm like I was like, does this make sense? I said this to him the other morning. I'm like, it's almost like my muscle tone, like I'm getting more muscular quicker because my starting point is so low. He's like, yeah. I'm like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not like, it's so hard when you're already like active to like try to get anything going, because it's like you're already doing so many of the right things. But like when you're coming from such a low place, it's like
Your baseline is
your
completely.
baseline is so like I had no muscle tone, like
I love it.
so like now it's like holy shit,
What a
my arms
good,
are
like,
coming back.
A motivating factor that like sort of like popped up early on almost.
Yeah, like after surgery, no, was it before? I don't know. At some point I noticed like this extra roll underneath my boobs that was so much bigger than anything I had ever
Had on your body.
had on my body. I mean, that's just, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's always been there, but it didn't feel like that.
Right.
And it's starting to dissipate. Like I feel more normal.
So you feel more yourself.
Yeah.
So at any point when you like, because you probably didn't realize that you looked differently at that point. You probably just got to the point like when you could physically actually get to the point of like doing more and not smoking
Yeah.
weed and eating a ton and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Were you mean to yourself at all and being like, I can't believe you let this happen? Or it was just like, okay, that's fine. This is what happened, but I'm ready to get back.
I wasn't mean to myself that I let it happen. I was more just like, ugh,
Feeling.
I can't look at you right now. Like, I just can't fucking
Like-
look at this gut.
Girl, this is not it.
Like, that was just like I was grossed out.
Yeah. And when you like, because I've gained and lost so much weight through starving and things
Yeah,
like that.
it's terrible.
Was your mom doing a specific diet, or like would she just like do like keep a food journal and
She would keep a food journal. Like, I feel like I was always on and off Weight Watchers.
Oh yeah.
Like, at
I'm
the
a
end of high
lifelong
school,
member,
yeah.
a lifetime member of Weight Watchers.
I'm like, should I do it now? I like. We don't need it. My Fitness Pal.
You know,
and the
it's so
point
funny.
system.
Have you
Yeah.
have you done Weight Watchers like in the last 10 years, 5 years?
I don't think so.
So I wasn't enrolled in Weight Watchers when I was a kid, but I would go with my mom and my grandma to the Weight Watcher meetings.
Oh, yeah.
And the points.
Oh God, the meetings.
The meetings that you would go and you would get weighed, and they
Uh-huh.
kept
Oh, yeah.
track, and
I've done
everything.
meetings 2 different times.
Everything was paper, so they had this way of determining the point value for certain foods. So
Yeah.
now fruit is 0 points, but like it used to be that like a handful of strawberries was like, let's say 1 point, but you would have to calculate that. And now there's an app with beautiful graphics, and you scan barcodes. It's so easy. Back in the day, back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, they had this paper tracker where it had numbers on each side, and you would, through this little window.
Oh yeah.
Like
then they finally went to the website.
then they went to the
so
website.
I would just stay logged in at work.
Yep.
Their Weight Watchers meetings at work, like this is why I hated the meetings, because I always felt like I was someone who like in some amount had moderation, like watched what I ate on some level, that like people would be like, oh my God, so like I lost 4 pounds this week because I'm not eating a sleeve of cookies every night. No shit.
Yeah.
If you stop doing that, you'll lose weight.
What the thing
I'm like,
about
God, lady.
the thing with Weight Watchers, it's like, okay, is this Weight Watchers where we talk about dieting, or is this Overeaters Anonymous?
Oh,
is
my
this
God,
an ED
yeah.
room right now? Are we
That-
in an eating disorder recovery room right now? It
I
felt
never
like
thought
that.
about that.
Yeah. So
That's so true.
a few years ago, back when we weren't remote working, pre-COVID, all of my friends, because I'm from Jersey, so like
Right.
a lot of my friends live in North Jersey and work in Manhattan, and we were all working in Manhattan, and a few of my girlfriends were like, okay, like let's all join Weight Watchers, and on our lunch breaks,
Okay.
we'll like go to a meeting, because they were all over in the city.
Yeah.
So we were doing that. So my friend Tori and I, we go to a meeting, and the way I hadn't been in so long that I forgot how like people come in there and they cry.
Oh my God,
Like,
crying. My sister and I
There needs to be like an anonymity policy here, because
crying.
like the crying, I've cried at a Weight
Okay.
Watchers meeting.
I can't.
Like, and so
My sister and I, the second time I went to meetings with my sister on like Sunday mornings in Jersey where she lives, and like
the Hoboken meeting.
No, in the real suburbs where she
in the
lives.
storefronts.
Yes,
when they
in
had
the
Weight Watchers
storefronts.
storefronts in strip malls.
Yep, we went to a strip mall with a storefront, and she would just make faces the whole time, and we would leave, and she's like,
It's so
I can't
uncomfortable.
do this.
It's so
I can't
uncomfortable.
do these meetings.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
It does feel like that's what it is. It's an Overeaters Anonymous.
That's what it is. And
yeah.
so growing up, my parents are totally like, they've been basically like, my mom, when I was like a baby before I was even born, like went to like AA.
Okay.
And so she was always I've only ever known my parents sober. Like I never grew up with my parents drinking or anything. But even though they would go to like meetings each week, but we were kids, and like there were no babysitters. So I like have memories of like being a kid and like not really paying attention, but like having that be the background noise, and hearing the way people talk about alcohol, and like, at a young age, sort of understanding or being aware of the fact that people have a relationship to this thing that's societally what everyone does. I didn't think about that deep, but as I reflect on it, whatever. So I remember, because even though I would go to Weight Watchers meetings as like a teen, I didn't really connect the two of like an AA meeting and a Weight Watchers meeting.
Yeah.
But when I went in my 20s, the most recent time, I sat there and I'm like, just replace food with alcohol or drugs, or insert addiction here. And this is an AA room. Only they're talking about ice cream. And
totally.
So they're wild. They're wild. And it's that's a thing about Weight Watchers and diets in general. Like, I'm trying to like come up with a good joke of how it's all marketing, but Weight Watchers has a meeting aspect to it. Yeah. And so,
does it still have the meet? Like, yeah. Okay.
Only now some of the it's like easier to get to meetings now because they're virtual.
Right. They're virtual.
But when the most recent time I did Weight Watchers, I had lost a good amount of weight, probably like 20 pounds. But I gained it back so just as quick as it took me to lose it, because like I was following my points. Yeah, I was starving myself, and it's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable to starve yourself.
And I don't want to say that's what Weight Watchers is, but that's what Weight Watchers can be.
Well, I'll tell you, because I know you wanted to talk about this. That's the thing that Ozempic changes, is that you are not hungry ever.
Yeah. So when did you decide that you were going to try Ozempic?
Okay. So someone in my family is on it.
Okay.
on and off, whatever. And so right after surgery, I had like lost some weight because of the surgery and like not eating and whatever. And I bought a dress for my nephew's bar mitzvah at the end of January. And then when it came time to wear the dress at his bar mitzvah, I felt so fucking fat. I felt like a stuffed sausage. I looked fucking terrible.
Such a bad feeling.
It's such a bad feeling. My face, I'd also like done this weird thing that like I was really high and I thought like my lady sideburns were too long and I took a scissor and then I had this weird situation that's only now healed. Like now I don't have to like cover up everything all the time. So it was like a really weird time.
Yeah.
That's like the most me thing to do is what I did to my sideburns. But
don't take a razor to your face.
Oh my God.
When you're
oh
feeling
my God.
manic.
Don't worry. I just like stare and tweeze like nonstop. So the relative that was on it like was so skinny and it made me so mad.
Yeah.
And what they said to me was, you've had such a hard time. Don't you deserve some magic to help you feel better yourself?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay. So it's super expensive, but there are like bullshit health sites. That's how everybody's getting it.
So at this point, insurance used to cover that shit, and now is
yeah,
it
but not for weight loss.
Not for weight loss anymore. It used to.
Yeah, it covers it if you have a pre-diabetic.
If you have diabetes or
pre-diabetic condition. But like I got a discount like from Canada with whatever. Like whatever I did. I started with Mounjaro.
Okay.
And that shit, first of all, I started from Mounjaro and then I went to Ozempic because I wanted to see if Ozempic would have less side effects, which I'll talk about. But like in general, like it works in the sense of you have no desire for food. You have no appetite. There is never a time that I have felt it ever like that, you know, like, which now it's sort of stayed with me a little bit, which I'm hoping it'll stay. But you're supposed to like get more used to it, except my side effects got worse as I continued to use it. So like by the fourth week, because it takes like a month for you to get used to it, like I was waking up in Denver. I'd brought the Hotbox to Denver. I like barely did anything except for like the show. And I was like waking up in the middle of the night to have like diarrhea. Like it was terrible. Also like you are at a constant level of sick, like nausea. Like it is for real, like being pregnant is like that kind of nausea, morning sickness. And like dry heaving, like whatever. And then, so then I would like go back and forth and like on and off of it. And then I switched to Ozempic because Mounjaro has 2 main ingredients and Ozempic only has 1. So
semaglutide.
Yes. And I thought maybe that would make the difference. Well, Ozempic I did for the month. By the end of it's like once I get to the end of the month, it's worse than it ever. I threw up 3 days in a row and it came over me so quickly, like just like morning sickness. Like it comes over you that I would just grab a garbage can.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm fucking done.
Wow.
I can't. But I lost 10 pounds. Thank you. I have another 10 to go. But like, it works.
Yeah.
But you know, I know other people that don't have side effects.
Yeah.
Like once I'm puking every day, I'm done.
I know people that don't have as many side effects, I'll say, because I have some people very close to me that are on Ozempic, and they would have like nausea and moments of throwing up, but not describing like what you described. But in other ways, it has affected them where it's like it doesn't stop them from like their day-to-day life, but it does impact it a little bit, like when it comes to all of a sudden feeling sick, where like now you're kind of irritable because you feel so bad.
Oh my God.
Because it's so it's like uncomfortable. Like it's like this
terrible
feeling right here where you're like, I can't really throw up, but like it feels like it's like stuck in your chest.
It's terrible, honestly. Like as soon as I decided like I'm not doing, because it's a shot a week.
Yeah.
Like after, so I didn't take it again a week later, and then like within 2 days, I was like a different person.
So you lost the 10 pounds from it, and now I think something that I have been reading about and seeing when it comes to Ozempic is people going off of it and then gaining a ton of weight.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, just from what I've seen, that is happening with people that have like binge eating disorders.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
for you, it doesn't seem like you've had that sort of relationship with food outside of getting high and having, you know, intense munchies. Like overall, like you always kind of were like a thinner person. And so like, did you struggle with like, you know, having trouble with portion control?
Yes, I definitely did. But somehow like once I really started like really getting fit, like in my 30s, I somehow like was able to like not eat everything that's in my apartment.
Yeah.
I'm the queen of snacks, and they're never finished. And then I'll just buy more snacks. Like I have so many snacks.
Half-eaten snacks.
Yeah. Like and it's interesting, and Ozempic helped that. Like I hope it stays this way. Like I've been eating fairly decently. I mean, like yesterday was like a whatever day. Like, you know, getting like drinking a little bit and like getting food late night. Like that's not ideal. Yeah. You know, but the food wasn't so bad. So spinach dip and charcuterie.
Oh, I love a snacky dinner.
Yeah.
I love a snacky dinner with a glass of white wine. So nice. So I wasn't on Ozempic, but I don't even want to say I was on because I didn't get it from a doctor. Okay. I basically, I got my hands on this thing called Saxenda, and this was fucking 2 years ago.
Okay.
So before Ozempic and when it comes to like medicinal ways to lose weight, I am an early adopter. Like I have done so many like pills and like so many things to lose weight.
So what was this one was
this is Saxenda, which I didn't know is not the same. Well, yeah, it's kind of the same thing as Ozempic.
Okay.
But I didn't like have like a doctor take me through the process and a clinician. I just had it in my fridge, and I like would have the pens, and I would take it every day because for Saxenda it's every day.
Oh, okay.
And it helped me get from being the heaviest I had ever been and lose 25 pounds.
Okay.
And I was able to do it. I think it didn't come off fast necessarily, but for me, it didn't fully take away the ability to eat. Like I still had an appetite. Okay. And so maybe it's just because I wasn't like taking the medication. I did take it every day.
Right.
And whatever. But so it's so funny all of a sudden. So I was like on and off from that pretty quickly because like once I ran out, you know, and I didn't feel any different before or after, and I didn't gain the weight back.
Oh,
I think I've gone like up and down with like gaining the weight and losing it, but that's only just because I'm trying to like figure out my flow with like health and wellness.
It's hard.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
But something that I've seen a lot, and as I read about Ozempic, is people getting off of it and immediately gaining the weight back. So I don't know. I don't know. Their prescriptions in this country for everything is so out of whack. Like a person in pain after a car accident can't get the pain management that they need. Yeah. And there are people who are like Kim Kardashian who can just afford it, who like aren't overweight and still getting it.
Yeah, I know someone that saw her somewhat recently, or like right after Pete Davidson, and like she's tiny and
toothpick,
and this person is small herself.
Yeah. And
like she's like no. She, first of all, she's very short, and like she's so skinny.
Yeah. It's like I think that everybody deserves to live in the body that they can live in. Like, I think that
Yeah.
everybody, if your body looks a way that you don't want it to look, and I don't think Ozempic's cheating, I think that if you you have that right to do that.
Yeah.
And so I think it really sucks when someone is already very fit and thin being on it. I'm not an anti-Kardashian person. I really love their show. I like what Kim does, like, legally for like her like getting people out of prison stuff.
She didn't go to law school, people. Just
She didn't.
FYI.
As a lawyer, you would know.
Like I have talked about this on other people's podcasts too. And like on shows, Kim Kardashian she doesn't have a bachelor's degree, so she can't even apply to law school. Like what she did is this, she's not a practicing attorney.
So
she was doing an apprenticeship, and then like I don't even know if she sat for the bar. Like California still allows you to do an apprenticeship over law school. Like you do it for 4 years, and then you could take the bar, and if you pass the bar, then you could get admitted and be a licensed attorney. But like she's not in law school.
There was one episode of the Kardashians where she took the baby bar and passed. So what is that?
I don't know. That's a California
thing. Okay, that's a
California
California
thing.
thing.
Because of this apprenticeship.
Okay.
We don't have that in New York.
Got it.
So, or New Jersey, Connecticut. No.
Yeah.
Because like, law school sucks. And
I've not heard good things.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily prepare you for like how you're going to practice, but it certainly prepares you to write.
Yeah.
And all I could think is like, does Kim Kardashian, and this is not shade, I kind of like wish I was her. I wish I dated Pete Davidson, although maybe not because he has borderline personality disorder. But like, does she know how to write?
Right.
She didn't go to college. I'm sorry.
Money.
Did she even really go to high school?
Right. Money can buy you anything. And so she probably bought the ability to call herself a lawyer.
I don't think she can call herself a lawyer. I don't think she has
it's not like she needs to be picking up cases anytime soon.
No, she's just working on them with a firm.
Yeah. I think, anyways, going back to her and Ozempic.
I'm very sensitive.
I hate what she's doing with the weight stuff. I do.
Because they're not being honest.
They're not being honest.
It's
and that's always been their issue with like the plastic surgery and all this shit. And like, the way that like when a Kardashian looks a certain way or comes out with that look starts to trend, and then they change it faster, and then you have all these people who are living paycheck to paycheck or whatever the case may be, not having the amount of money that they have now with this look that's old now because the Kardashians changed their look to the new trend. So
Kourtney's the only one that is natural on some level. I mean, we don't really know.
She hasn't had the most dramatic change, I don't think.
I don't think she really she puts filler in
she
stuff
maintains.
in her face. She maintains. Like, I don't really think, I guess, like, Kim is gorgeous.
Yeah.
But has done shit to her body, for sure. Like, Kourtney's body is proportional.
Yeah.
And more human. It's a human body.
Totally. Yeah,
it's a human body.
So, okay. So, you did the Ozempic thing. You've lost 10 pounds. And you have 10 more to go, so you say. And you have your trainer is Danny
Sibs.
Danny Suggs. So what does your training regimen look like?
So Danny actually is like a model celebrity, like rich people trainer. So he does like sorry.
No, you're fine.
He does like leaning people out, like a lot of like full body, using your body weight, like smaller weights, like all like so much core. Just like so much stuff.
Like calisthenics.
Yeah, sort of. Is that what that is?
Like when you use your body. Like when you don't really use equipment, you just use like push-ups, sit-ups,
and dumbbell. We do use free weights, but
and you do this in your apartment.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Does he train you using the Peloton?
No.
Oh, that really?
I do on my other days. No. I do that myself. Yeah.
That's so awesome. So okay, So I guess you could say you're getting fit and losing weight the old-fashioned way.
Yes, and like I think my appetite still decreased.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. So you think that well, I think also when your appetite decreases like that, it's like your body has thankfully been trained to now be satiated with a different number of calories.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was saying with the binge eating people. They have a disorder that's outside of,
Correct.
their appetite. Or their
Correct.
appetite is fueled by something outside of just like, your desire for nutrition.
Right.
Okay, so are you maintaining any kind of diet, like just a low-cal?
Well, I have a nutritionist. She's my friend. She's the one that said eating's not an activity. But I actually ordered Sakara Life. Now, oh my God, now I realize it's going to get delivered tomorrow, and I'm in Atlantic City for the night to see Tina and Amy. But it can last in that thing for 24 hours.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because they put dry ice. Sakara is such a fucking Gwyneth Paltrow type of thing. But, like, it's all vegan, no gluten, no dairy. And it actually tastes fucking delicious. I've done like every kind of delivery meal service.
Oh my God, have you done Jenny Craig?
Oh, that was the most disgusting one I ever did. That was about 10, 12 years ago. The most disgusting.
And you live by Jenny Craig, you die by Jenny Craig. Like,
disgusting.
It wasn't like you had Jenny Craig for like breakfast, lunch, and in a lot of cases dinner, because it'd be like sensible dinner, but you were having Jenny Craig breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Ugh.
And that was early food delivery at home technology.
Yeah, that's why it was so disgusting.
Do you remember a specific Jenny Craig meal that you would eat?
I just remember sitting, this is when I lived in Washington, D.C., and I just remember sitting on my couch in that apartment and being like, this is so fucking disgusting.
This is hell.
I cannot even eat this. Like, this isn't even, like, how can I do this? What a waste of money. This tastes like shit. And I'm not a picky eater.
Yeah.
It was so disgusting. So, like, listen, I have a moral issue with, like, HelloFresh because, like, I'm not using your service so that I can cook. Like,
right.
What the fuck?
Yeah, if you're going to get meals delivered, it's like I can get my groceries delivered.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't need you. Like, whatever.
Yeah,
although their stuff is delicious.
Their stuff is good. And I've, like, had a roommate where we were like, oh, let's try this. And it was like, okay, this is fine. But it wasn't like...
It's just like...
When you know how to cook, it's like, what's the point?
Well, I'm not great at cooking. But I also am like, I don't need to.
You can get by.
I can get by.
Yeah.
Like, I can cook enough and I could get by. So, like, I've done all the meals that are pre-made and, like, a lot of them suck. Like, one good one is Cook Unity. That's not a weight loss one, though. That's, like, chefs around the city.
Yeah.
So you actually get real food, but they give you all the allergen and nutrition information. So, like, those fucking tacos, every taco... Always corn tortillas, gluten-free, delicious, and like 500 calories and under. That shit was awesome. But I wanted to do like more like of a detox.
Right.
So
okay.
I did Sakara. I'm going to treat myself because I'm home for like another 2.5 weeks. And then I'm going away for 3 weeks. My first big trip. Super excited.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
It's a long way.
So I want to be like super fit.
Yeah. Okay. So what has been your favorite? Have you ever done Sakara before?
Yeah, one time before.
Okay, and you like the effects of it?
I don't know if I had any effects. I actually felt like it was a lot of
results.
Food. There were no results because I only did it like 1 week.
Oh, okay.
2. But it's delicious.
Okay, good. They actually had forever ago, over a year ago, they had like a truck outside.
Really?
A Sakara, and I think they were giving free coffee with like their powder inside of it.
Yeah, that powder
and it was
gross.
a good. Yeah. I loved it.
Okay?
I loved it. I was like,
okay.
And then I looked up. I'm like, oh, it's a little expensive for me, but
it's expensive.
Yeah, I know people that have done it.
It's expensive.
The first thing they noted was it's expensive.
It's expensive, but that's why it tastes delicious.
Yeah,
and it's really like I just want like I want to lose weight obviously, but I also want like detox like of just like eating clean.
Yeah.
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 I like that. I did a crazy fast.
You did?
1.5 times.
Why?
Called Prolon.
Prolon. Okay.
Prolon. And talk about diet culture.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a 5-day detox, like mimicking fast, where you can like eat, but you never eat enough to break the fast. You are fucking starving. I don't know how, the reason I slept so much, it was only because I work from home that I could do it. This was like just because of COVID.
Yeah.
I gained 10 pounds with COVID and gained 10 pounds with that injury.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't like I hadn't been already trying to lose weight when everything happened, but so like this I don't know how I made it through. I mean, I lost 6 or 7 pounds.
It sounds like assisted starvation.
Yeah, it is assisted starvation. And then I was gonna do it again, and on the third day I was like, oh, okay, I'm
And
out.
is this something you're paying for?
Oh yeah.
God.
Yeah.
As if food isn't expensive enough, you have to pay to not eat food.
Yeah, well, you get their packaged stuff and all their vitamins, so you don't die.
That is not a sustainable. Well, I'm
No,
sure they
and
don't
they
market it themselves
No,
as a sustainable
it's not
thing.
sustainable.
Yeah.
They don't the whole and they want you to gear up towards it. Like they
Yeah.
want you to remove things out of your diet for a while, and then it'll be easier.
Right.
And
You can't just jump in deep end first.
But I can't believe I got through. But that is so drastic that like you shouldn't be doing it for weight loss because you're gonna gain the weight back.
Yeah.
You're doing it if you believe in the whole like detoxing your body.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know where I stand with the detoxing stuff. I think if whatever you're doing works for you, keep on doing it. I'm saying personally, because like, what is our pancreas or liver that detoxes
Yeah.
things? And like, I see so many doctors online. So what is that worth? That are like, your organs, your detoxing organs, like that, it does enough. Like you don't need to do anything extra. And, but then I talk to people who maybe it's like a psychological thing of doing something like Sakara or these things where
Maybe.
it's just nice where you feel like you've
Yeah.
detox. I mean, because you are detoxing, but I think it's more of like pushing shit out of your body.
Yes. So every year I fast for Yom Kippur.
Right, okay.
Which is 25 hours.
Mhm.
And this is so gross. But like I am shitting the whole day. Like I really feel like fasting, like I do think there's something to it.
Yeah.
Because you're letting your body just get everything out.
Get
without
everything
putting
out.
Anything in. Like I don't even drink water. Like
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm like pretty strict. I fucking
During-
hate it.
on your-
yeah.
So,
I
okay.
hate fasting.
I've never
so
heard
much.
of fasting and diarrhea being associated with it, and you're not drinking
I have
water.
IBS, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like everything is coming out of my body.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not necessarily diarrhea. I just keep on having to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And it's like I haven't eaten.
Yeah.
I sleep so much on Yom Kippur. That's the only way I make it through.
I have many Jewish friends that share that same sentiment.
I'm
I
sorry,
wouldn't be able to work.
You don't work.
You can't.
Well, I just can't sit in synagogue like
Yeah.
the whole day. Like I can go the night that it starts after I've eaten dinner.
Yeah.
I could go sometimes at the end of the fast. Last year I didn't do that because I must have. I don't think I fasted. I was medically cleared.
It's been a weird year. Sorry,
no,
God.
actually, I really don't think. I think, or I broke it at like 3 p.m. or
Yeah.
like really early because I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
But okay.
Well,
It's okay.
yeah, I guess having like something like fasting being a part of like your life because it's the religious aspect.
Yeah.
And how Finn really is like putting on the looks. Finn is why you should come to the YouTube of this podcast because
Yeah.
he really serves. You really are showing up today, bud. But yeah, so being a Jewish person that participates in Yom Kippur, fasting is like part of your culture.
Yeah.
And so it's something that you do once a year. So I could see how, because fasting isn't a part of my culture
Right.
at all.
Right.
And so for you being like, oh, it's more second nature, I think, for you to be like, okay, I can do this detox thing because
Maybe, but I really dread Yom Kippur. Like, I have to wean myself off of coffee.
Yeah,
It sucks. I one time had such a bad migraine. The fast is so much worse if you don't wean yourself off coffee.
Mm-hmm.
That's why this year, I don't think I fasted. I was like, I'll just wake up late, eat whatever I want. Like, I don't know. I was like, I can't.
You had a pass this year.
Yeah. I just don't.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh my God, this is such a delicious.
I know, he really is. He's like he's like a Xanax.
It's what's hard is like you don't know if the dog you're gonna get is like a mellow cuddler, and that's my fear.
So, yeah, you don't know. I'll say for Finn, he has these moments where he's being perfect and his energy is wonderful and great, but he also has his like time where he's being this autonomous being and is just like, I do not want to cuddle with you. I want to lay in the closet and I want you to not look at me. And I'm like, okay, all right, fine. I respect that, my man. Because I get like that too, where like I don't want anything near me or whatever. It is hard when there's a dog that you get that like doesn't want to do this at all. But a lot of it is training, you know?
Yeah.
Which is also the plus side. If you do get a younger dog, like, you know, you can help form these habits. But
yeah. Like I walked into my sister's house and Willow, her doggy, like all of a sudden looks at me, barks, and runs up to me, rolls on her back so I could get her belly. She's so delicious. It's so great.
They're such good pals.
I love his face. He's kind of like, looks like an old man.
Yeah. He has like a perpetually grumpy face.
Yeah.
Perpetually
so
grumpy.
Awesome.
He looks so funny. Like everyone I think loves him best when he has this shorter hair.
Yeah.
But his hair can get so long and he gets so scruffy and it's just so cute.
Aww.
So, but I do have to do these cuts like this because he doesn't let me. Brushing him is like we fight about it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I don't want him to ever get naughty or be too hot. So I'm like, okay, fine, we'll just shave you.
You take care of him.
Yeah, he's my buddy. I recommend munchkins to people, and I think you are I think I'm at the perfect stage.
Yeah.
For a little munchkin. And the right one will walk into your life.
I know.
Because when I was
when
I was looking for a dog, I had many of like puppies saved on my phone to be like, this is going to be the dog, and then something happens, you know, someone else gets them, doesn't work out.
It's too early because if I'm moving,
once you move,
I want it after. I want it to get used to only one place.
Yeah, totally, exactly. Yeah. Okay. I think we've definitely gone over an hour.
Oh wow.
And it's been so awesome having you on the podcast. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Where can people find you?
On Instagram, it's best at Danit Sibs, DANIT SIBS, or at the hotbox.nyc.
If you are in New York City or in New Jersey, surrounding Connecticut, make the trip into New York to check out Danit's show, Hotbox. I've done it a few times, and it's so fun. And my friends that come always have a really great time as well.
Yay.
And if you are, I would say follow Danit if you want to see cool weed culture posts. I learn about a lot of cool cannabis companies through you, and she's a great follow, so follow her there.
Thank you.
And all right, have a good one. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
So good. Oh my god, Finn looks so cute. He's a cutie.